Hello guys, all the students of biology and the teachers are most welcome in the biology class. I am Dr. P.K. Verma. In the previous sessions, I have discussed much about the human reproductive system, reproductive physiology, pregnancy, childbirth, lactation, as well as the family planning and birth control. Now there is one more aspect. It is the problem of infertility that human beings are suffering since long, and there are many stories about the ancient Indian histories in which great kings like King Dashrath and many others suffered from childlessness, and they had to do so many yajna. In view of the medical science and the biology of genital system, in this session I shall discuss what are the possible cause of infertility and how the infertile couple can get a child. Now I would like to differentiate a common term, impotency, from infertility. Impotency in male or female is the failure to perform normal sexual act. It may be due to some psychological or some organic problems such as fear, dryness of vagina, or allergic inflammation of vagina and cervix in the female. And in the male, this problem can occur due to failure of erection or premature ejaculation. It may be due to psychological problems like fear and overstress, as well as certain infection of genital tract. But these problems are separate from the problem of infertility. Sometimes due to damage of backbone, due to some accident, a spinal injury can lead to damage of the nerves known as nervi erecti associated with the genital system. In male, it is called nervi erecti. The males can suffer this problem also due to excess masturbation. Congenital defects in the structure of genital system also is seen in many of the cases, in addition to the problem of low blood pressure. Now come to the real problem, that is infertility. When a couple, in spite of togetherness for 2 or more years, do not get a child, it is called primary infertility. Infertility may be a secondary one also. After a childbirth, second or third child is not born, it is called secondary infertility. These are different from sterility. Sterility means an error that cannot be cured by any known method because the testis or the ovarage cannot produce gametes. In the male, cryptorchidism and Klinefelter syndromes are the congenital problems in addition to polycystic ovarage and fibrous ovarage in the females. The problem of polycystic and fibrous ovarage can be detected much earlier in the age of 12 to 15 years. In females, infertility may be due to polycystic and fibrous ovary as well as blockage of fallopian tube. This blockage of fallopian tube is observed in many of the obese female. The third one is immobility of cilia in the fallopian tube, infection of uterus and cervix, and hormonal disturbances affecting normal menstrual cycle such as amenorrhea and dysmenorrhea. The hormonal disturbances can be cured after a long-term treatment of the female hormone, and it is detected in the age of 12 to 15 years. If it is the only problem, there is no problem of developmental failure of the ovary, cure is possible. The last one is the psychological problem of orgasm, that in spite of all efforts does not suck up the sperms upward into the fallopian tube. Now in male, infertility may be due to following reasons. The congenital defects are cystic fibrosis, Klinefelter syndrome, and the cryptorchidism. Klinefelter syndrome is non-curable, but if cryptorchidism is detected in the children, the testes can be set into the scrotal sac in the very small age of the boy child. Occupational hazards such as effect of high temperature, exposure to metallic ions like cadmium and lead, or chemicals like organophosphates and organochlorides also lead to damage of the testicular cells and therefore can lead to infertility. Genital tract infections causing damage to the secretory function of prostate and seminal vesicle is a major and a very common cause of infertility. Infection can also cause obstruction in the genital tract, mainly in the vasa efferentia and epididymis. There is a chance of recanalization by which the passage for the exit of spermatozoa can be made, but it needs a microsurgical technology. Chemicals, especially alcohol and narcotics reduce sperm motility and viability. So alcoholic patients must stop to use alcohol or any narcotic agent if they have no child. There are many non-genital tract infections such as smallpox, regular typhoid leading to high temperature of body, use of langota, etc. that can damage the testicular tissues. Now, if either male or female is defective, the problem can be managed by the following methods. The problem of infertility are taken care of by artificial insemination, test tube babies, surrogacy. Let us take one after another. In case if the wife has normal menstrual cycle, normal ovulation, her genital tracts are secretory, and medically it is fit for having a child. Now let us see if the husband has a sperm or not. If the sperm are there, regardless whether it has lower count above 10 million per ml or higher count, artificial insemination of husband semen, that is direct injection of the husband semen, can be done in the wife's genital tract. In this case, the sperms are suspended in a nutritive medium, generally the glucose phosphate Sorensen buffer, in which all the healthy sperms float and swim well. Then the solution is taken in a syringe and directly pushed into the uterus. In case if husband is azoospermic or severe oligozoospermic, that is only a few sperms are there, or there is no sperm at all, in that condition a donor semen can be used. Here there is some legal problem. The woman has full right to know who is the donor and what are his appearance, intelligence, whether he is disease free or not, health details, etc. But this information is not generally given to the husband, neither to the donor. Now, if by artificial insemination of the husband's sperm or the donor's sperm there is no fertilization and pregnancy, in that case there is alternative method, that is in vitro fertilization or the production of test tube baby. In this case, the ovum of female is pumped out from the fallopian tube on the 16th day and suspended in a saline solution. Now the semen or sperms suspended in the saline is directly poured over the ovum in the petri dish. After the fertilization occurs and cells start dividing. The zygote or the morula up to 8 cell stage is directly transferred into fallopian tube or uterus depending on the condition of the zygote or early embryo. If zygote is directly transplanted, it is put into the fallopian tube, but it is 8 cell stage, it can be put into the uterus itself. When zygote is transferred into fallopian tube, it is called zygote intrafallopian transfer, GIFT. Zygote intrafallopian transfer or GIFT. An embryo up to 8 cell stage or more developed also can be transferred into uterus, and sometimes donor's ovum is transferred into anterior part of female and fertilized by normal act. It is also known as gamete intrafallopian transfer or the GIFT. Now the third method is surrogacy. In this case, the biological parents are the normal parents, mother and father, but at first the ovum of woman is taken out in a petri dish containing saline. It is fertilized with her husband's sperm, and then in place of implanting in the mother, the zygote or embryo is transferred into another woman known as surrogate mother. So surrogacy is the ultimate case, but now it is being very popular by the rich people who hire a woman by paying a lot of amount. In many states, there are acts for protection of the surrogate mothers, just like the original mothers, and the child have to take care of that surrogate mother just like as his or her normal mother. So it is all about the various aspects of human reproduction